Hello, fellow TV and film fanatics. My name's Greg, and I make recommendations for TV shows and movies you can access from the comfort of your own home. And I can't believe December is around the corner, but it looks like another month with some awesome new shows and new seasons hitting. We are getting some solid action, adventure, comedy, drama, animation, and what looks like some unique sci-fi. So, as always, stop mindlessly scrolling, stop wasting your time, and let's jump in and check out this list.
My family, our 5 abandoned souls, now kin. God gave us this home. Only God can take it away.
First up on our list is a new Western series, and this is The Abandons, which is arriving on Netflix on December 4th with all 7 episodes dropping at once. And this Western drama from Kurt Sutter is said to deliver everything you would expect from the creator of Sons of Anarchy, with some gritty, emotional, and explosive action. Set in 1854, the show drops us right into the harsh and unforgiving Old West. But instead of another ranching tale or a classic cowboy story, this one is driven by a clash between 2 fierce women whose worlds collide over the same piece of land. Lena Headey stars as Fiona, a devout and relentless protector who leads a group of orphan outcasts who have carved out a life together through sheer determination. On the other side stands Gillian Anderson as Constance, an inherited powerhouse of wealth and privilege who has built her mining empire through cold ambition. It looks like this will be a showdown of willpower, strength, and maternal fury, and of course, this is a Kurt Sutter story, which means you can expect complex characters, moral gray areas, and a raw, unapologetic look at the choices people make when they are pushed to the edge. Sutter has always been obsessed with the idea of loyalty and the lengths families will go to protect each other. Here he focuses on the bond between mothers and the sacrifices they make when survival is the only option left. Because all 7 episodes drop at once, this series is perfectly positioned for a holiday binge. It looks cinematic, intense, and built for viewers who want something bold and dramatic. So if you want fire, blood, and deep frontier drama, this is the series to watch on December 4th. Next up, we get an international thriller on Netflix, and this is The Believers Season 2. Set to returns on December 4th with what is being called a darker, more ambitious second season that dives even deeper into the world of faith, corruption, and political power. The Believers follows 3 young entrepreneurs whose startup collapses and leaves them drowning in debt. In desperation, they discover an opportunity inside a struggling Buddhist temple and turn it into a profitable enterprise. What begins as a creative attempt to survive quickly becomes a commentary on how spiritual belief and financial power intersect in modern society. Season 2 picks up in the aftermath of their success. The trio returns to a world that is far more dangerous than they realize, where their temple is only a small part of a much larger system of political influence and corruption. They become involved, a front for large-scale money laundering ploy. As they try to navigate this new reality, the show expands into a full political thriller that explores how religion and politics use the same tools to shape public opinion and control communities. There is also a deeply personal storyline driving the season. When one of the 3 leads continues to search for answers about his father, whose disappearance was quietly linked to the temple and the political machinery behind it. That mystery becomes a core emotional thread. What makes The Believers stand out is the quality of its storytelling and the strength of its cast. The main trio bring intensity and realism to their roles, and their chemistry is a major draw. Combined with the visual style, the sharp writing, and the bold themes, this show continues to deliver high-quality international entertainment. So if you want a series that will hook you with tension, make you think, and keep you talking long after the finale, this is worth checking out for yourself.
You have been granted the greatest of honor to grace the sands of the arena.
Next up is one of the titles I am most excited about heading into December. And if you are looking for one of the biggest and bloodiest television events of the holiday season, Spartacus House of Ashur needs to be at the top of your December binge list. This new series marks a massive return to the world of Spartacus, and it centers on one of the most unforgettable villains the franchise ever created. The entire premise is built around a bold alternate history. The series asks a single question that changes everything: what if Ashur had not died? In this reality, Ashur is rewarded for his treachery and is elevated by the Roman Republic. His reward is unimaginable. He becomes the master of the very gladiator school that once enslaved him. Now he must navigate the brutality of Roman politics, manage a school full of warriors who despise him, and cling to the power he has always craved. Ashur is no longer fighting from the bottom. He is fighting to stay on top, and the cost will be high. This series is also a full return to the signature style that made the original such a sensation. Creator Stephen S. DeKnight is back, and he has promised the same stylized violence, the same shocking twists, and the same unapologetically adult world that defined Spartacus. So you can expect blood-soaked battles, sensual decadence, and intense political gamesmanship in ancient Rome. Spartacus House of Ashur premieres with a 2-episode launch on December 5th, and it delivers everything longtime fans have been craving. It is brutal, it is political, it is seductive, and it brings the arena roaring back to life with all the spectacle and intensity of the original series. So, if you want a holiday show that trades snowflakes for sword fights and mistletoe for mayhem, this is the one for you.
This is a worldwide alert for all branches and divisions of the Unified Intelligence Task Force. Today is a turning point in history. All across the planet, Aquakind have revealed themselves.
Let's move forward and talk about a bit of a unique one here, and this is the war between the land and the sea, which is a massive global science fiction event. This new 5-part miniseries comes straight from the Doctor Who universe, but it stands completely on its own as a huge action-driven global crisis thriller created by Russell T Davies. What makes it unique for this channel is for those of you in the United States like myself, the series premieres first in the United Kingdom on December 7th, then it arrives on Disney Plus globally in 2026, but the use of a VPN could allow you to jump into this one earlier. But the story begins when an ancient species rises from the oceans. These are the Homo Aqua, known to longtime Doctor Who fans as the Sea Devils, and this time they are not simply monsters, they are a civilization waking up to find the oceans poisoned and their world destroyed by human greed. Their war is not senseless, it is retribution, and Davies has said the entire conflict is driven by modern environmental issues, making this one of the most timely and relevant stories in the Whoverse. With the Doctor absent, the world turns to UNIT, the military organization responsible for defending Earth from alien threats. The show is said to carry the unmistakable signature of Russell T Davies. He has promised a thrilling drama filled with political tension, emotional stakes, and world-ending danger. Expect explosive action scenes, moral dilemmas, and a story that blends ecological urgency with classic science fiction spectacle. So if you are looking for a powerful, urgent, and visually spectacular sci-fi miniseries, the war between the land and sea looks to deliver enormous action, emotional depth, and large-scale science fiction with real stakes.
You guys get nightmares, right? I usually get ones that tell me the future.
Percy.
Up next is the fantasy adventure series Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 2. Season 1 was a massive success and introduced a whole new generation to the world of demigods, monsters, and Greek mythology. Now the story continues on December 10th with a 2-episode premiere followed by weekly releases. This new season adapts the second book in the series, where the magical barrier that protects the camp has been poisoned after the events of Season 1, leaving everyone vulnerable to attacks. The only way to save the camp is to recover the legendary Golden Fleece hidden deep within the Sea of Monsters, known to humans as the Bermuda Triangle. Percy, Annabeth, and their allies set out on a dangerous voyage to retrieve it, and also trying to rescue their missing friend Grover, who is captured by a Cyclops. Season 2 also brings in some major new characters, including Tyson, Percy's Cyclops half-brother. He is awkward, but incredibly strong, and his introduction adds a lot of heart and humor, while forcing Percy to confront what it truly means to be a son of Poseidon. The trio also encounters the hilarious Grey sisters, who share a single eye and run a chaotic magical taxi service. And on the darker side, Luke's rebellion against the gods is no longer a secret. He is now fully working to revive the Titan Kronos, setting the stage for an even larger conflict. Disney Plus has lined this season up perfectly for holiday viewing. The 2-episode premiere kicks off on December 10th, then the show releases weekly all the way through January. It is the perfect family watch, something kids and adults can enjoy together, and the series has even been given a TV PG-V rating this year, which means the action and monster battles will be more intense and exciting than Season 1, and yes, this definitely caters to a younger audience, but Percy Jackson Season 2 looks like it will be humorous, filled with heart, emotional character growth, and now we are getting bigger monsters and an epic sea voyage that brings the world of Greek mythology to life. So if you want a holiday adventure filled with friendship, danger, and magic, this is absolutely the one to tune into.
The victors of this Ragnarok will be the gods of Olympus!
Next up is our one and only adult animation option on our list here today, and this is the Netflix series Record of Ragnarok Season 3. This series has built a massive following thanks to its wild tournament battles, its larger-than-life mythology, and its emotional storytelling. Season 3 is confirmed for a global release on December 10th, and the hype is real. The premise remains one of the coolest in anime. The gods have declared that humanity is beyond saving, and the only chance left is a final tournament where 13 gods fight 13 legendary humans, and if humanity wins 7 battles, they survive. If the gods win, it is over. We pick up with the score tied at 3-3, so from here on out, every single fight becomes a tipping point for the fate of the world. This season covers some of the most anticipated matchups from the manga, and fans have been waiting years to see these battles animated. The first emperor of China goes head-to-head with Hades, the king of the Greek underworld. Then we have Nikola Tesla taking on Beelzebub, and finally the brutal showdown between King Leonidas and Apollo. And yes, this is action-packed, but it is not just about the action. Every fight is packed with backstory and emotion. The show gives each fighter a full history that pulls you into their struggle and makes every victory or defeat hit much harder. Humanity fights with flaws, trauma, and heart. The gods fight with pride, arrogance, and centuries of power. That emotional contrast is what makes the series so engaging. This season also brings a noticeable visual upgrade. A new staff and animation team have stepped in, and fans are expecting crisper action, smoother choreography, and bigger spectacle, especially for the complex powers of fighters. This is one of the most exciting changes coming into Season 3. If you want to watch legendary figures battle for the fate of the world with upgraded animation, massive emotional stakes, and some of the most insane matchups the series has ever delivered, this is the December release you cannot miss.
Van a actuar y va a ser pronto.
Let's move forward to a dark and methodical crime thriller this December, and this is City of Shadow. This Spanish limited series arrives on Netflix on December 12th, and it looks to deliver that perfect mix of noir atmosphere, shocking mystery, and international flair. The story takes place in Barcelona, and from what we see so far, the show looks to immediately use that beauty in a terrifying way. The mystery begins with a gruesome and theatrical crime staged on the facade of La Pedrera. A burned body is found hanging from the exterior, turning a world-famous landmark into the centerpiece of a horrifying spectacle. It is the kind of opening that grabs you instantly and refuses to let go. Because of how public and disturbing the crime is, the police have no choice but to bring back Inspector Milo Malart, a brilliant but suspended detective with a reputation for insubordination. He is intense, unfiltered, and impossible to control, which makes him exactly the kind of investigator you want in a case that touches powerful circles. He is paired with Deputy Inspector Rebecca Garrido, a steady, capable partner who balances his unpredictable style. Their dynamic creates the classic formula, the troubled genius with something to prove, and the grounded partner who keeps the investigation moving. Everything I have read says that Barcelona becomes a living character in the story. The city's architecture, its winding streets, and its high society circles are all woven directly into the mystery. It gives the series a visual identity that feels sophisticated and cinematic, something you do not often see in the crime genre. So if you love crime stories that are dark, atmospheric, and incredibly smart, this is the thriller you will want to check out for yourself.
I defer to you about what to do in this situation.
Next is the series I am the most excited for here in December, and honestly this is one of the biggest television events of the year, let alone the holiday season, and this is Fallout Season 2. Season 1 was a global phenomenon for Prime Video, delivering a perfect mix of post-apocalyptic action, dark humor, emotional depth, and jaw-dropping visuals. This new season picks up immediately after the explosive Season 1 finale, with Lucy and the Ghoul heading toward one of the most iconic and dangerous places in the entire Fallout universe, New Vegas. This setting is a massive deal for longtime fans because it is packed with political tension, rival factions, and powerful figures who have shaped the wasteland for decades. Season 2 officially brings Mr. House into the story, a brilliant pre-war genius who controls what is left of the Las Vegas Strip. The arrival in New Vegas opens the door to new conflicts, new alliances, and the potential involvement of Caesar's Legion and the new California Republic. It is the perfect setup for a power struggle on a wasteland-wide scale. The character arcs heading into Season 2 are also incredibly compelling. Lucy is no longer the sheltered vault dweller we met in Season 1. She has become a hardened survivor, traveling with the ghoul and searching for her father. Her journey now is personal, painful, and filled with moral conflict. The ghoul is also getting a deeper story this season, with flashbacks to his pre-war life as Cooper Howard and his connection to the secrets behind the nuclear war. Meanwhile, Maximus now holds one of the most important pieces of technology in the entire franchise, the cold fusion core, and he is trying to protect his new identity as a Brotherhood of Steel knight while hiding a massive lie that could destroy everything. In short, Fallout Season 2 is shaping up to be one of the biggest returns of the year, with the move to New Vegas, the arrival of Mr. House, and all three lead characters heading directly toward conflict. This is the ultimate must-watch recommendation for December if you want action, world-building, dark comedy, emotional weight, and a series that owns the pop culture conversation. Another high-tension and gritty option on our list today is the brand new series Made in Korea, premiering on December 24th, and this is not a typical K-drama. It is a cinematic political thriller set in the chaotic 1970s, packed with big action, sharp drama, and some of the most powerful acting talent in South Korea. The number one reason you will want to tune in is the central rivalry. This brings together two of the country's biggest movie stars, Hyun-bin and Jung-woo Sung, in a direct clash that is said to feel massive from the first frame. Hyun-bin plays a KCIA agent who uses his position to amass personal power, wealth, and control. It is a dark and ambitious role that shows a completely different side of the star. Opposite him is Jung-woo Sung as Jang, a relentless prosecutor who devotes his entire life to stopping his corruption. It is ambition versus justice, ego versus integrity, and the intensity between these two actors is the show's biggest weapon. The series also is said to use the 1970s as the perfect backdrop. This era in South Korea was a time of rapid development, political instability, and hidden criminal networks working in the shadows. Made in Korea places its characters right inside this dangerous world where smuggling, espionage, and government power struggles collide. The director Woo Min, who is known for critically acclaimed political thrillers like Inside Men and The Man Standing Next, brings a film-level punch to the show with gorgeous visuals, tense confrontations, and a story filled with sharp twists and escalating danger. So for those of you who love stylish, gripping political thrillers driven by an explosive rivalry, wrapped in a visually stunning and historically rich world, Made in Korea looks like something to keep your eye on.
Found you.
My next pick, I do not want to talk about a lot because last month we talked about part 1, but on December 25th and December 31st, we get the final episodes of this decade-long story coming to its conclusion with Stranger Things Season 5 Part 2. Volume 2 releases on Christmas Day with 3 brand new episodes that continue the war for Hawkins. And then on New Year's Eve, Netflix releases the final episode of the series. It is a supersized finale that is also hitting theaters across the United States and Canada. This is positioned as a true communal moment, a night where fans gather, binge together, and avoid spoilers at all costs. These final episodes are all about the climactic showdown with Vecna, the landscape of Hawkins has being torn apart, the real world and the Upside Down now bleeding into each other, and every character we have followed over the years is finally converging for one last plan. This is the all-out battle the first 4 episodes were setting up. In short, Stranger Things Season 5 closes out with the emotional, terrifying, and action-filled ending fans have been waiting for. This is the ultimate December binge, the final chapter of a cultural phenomenon, and the perfect way to end the year. Then last but certainly not least is a tense and intelligent thriller to close out the year, The Copenhagen Test. This is absolutely one of the most exciting new shows arriving this December. It is a high-concept espionage drama with a sharp sci-fi edge, blending paranoia, action, and psychological suspense into one explosive package. The series centers on Alexander Hale, an American intelligence analyst working for a secretive government division known as the Orphanage. His life is turned upside down when he learns that his brain has been hacked by microscopic nanotechnology. This means an unknown enemy can see what he sees, hear what he hears, and monitor his every move in real time. He becomes a human surveillance device without his consent. From that moment forward, he must perform absolute loyalty at all times while secretly trying to uncover who is controlling his mind and why. It is a terrifying battle for his own thoughts as he tries to stay alive inside a world where trust does not exist. The show works because the core idea is instantly gripping. It captures the nightmare of living in a modern world where technology watches everything, every conversation he has, every expression he makes, and every decision he takes could blow his cover. The tension sounds relentless. The cast is another major draw. Simu Liu steps into the most intense leading role of his career and delivers a performance that is raw, vulnerable, and explosive. Melissa Barrera plays Michelle, a mysterious figure whose intentions are never fully clear. She might be a partner, a threat, or something in between. Behind the camera, you also have the steady creative hand of James Wan as an executive producer. He is known for building sleek, atmospheric thrillers with incredible pacing and sharp visual style. That influence gives the Copenhagen Test a cinematic feel full of clean production design, slick action, and moments of nerve-twisting suspense. So if you're looking for star power, sharp drama, and a tense psychological battle that keeps you hooked from the very first minute, this looks like an absolute must-watch. And that is going to do it for our list here today. Thank you for taking the time to hang out with us all the way to the end. We really appreciate it. And take a second to like, comment, share, or subscribe. It definitely helps us get our recommendations out to others looking for great shows to binge watch. But thanks again, and we will see you in the next one.